was rolling.
Okay. Well, Gemma, congratulations on this film.
Thank you.
I absolutely adored it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was just wonderful. Great comedy. So much going on. What was it that appealed to you about Tamara?
Well, the film itself, it was so unique, you know, in its tone, its subject matter. You know, us Brits, we always make films about the working class or the upper class, but never the middle class, which is a kind of curious place. I don't come from that world, so I was intrigued about that. And Tamara herself, she's not necessarily likable, actually, and she does things that I don't abide. And I thought, it'd be good to play someone that I don't get, so that I could work out why she does these things. And she's she's a complicated woman. She's very modern, and is actually one of the most honest tellings of, it's one of the most honest characters I've read. It's written by a woman,
right?
And it's I know people like her. You know,
right.
She's flawed and she's confused, and she isn't even the heroine in the movie, and I really enjoyed playing her.
She doesn't really, seem like the femme fatale type.
No.
So,
well, a typical femme fatale knows what they're doing, and she doesn't.
Right.
So even though she comes to the small rural village where she grew up, and she creates chaos, but she doesn't mean it to go as far as it goes, and she kind of gets completely caught up in it, and she's chaotic herself. Usually a femme fatale is absolutely clear and focused, but she's a writer, and I think she likes creating her own drama, and she gets a little bit carried away with that, but inside it's only when somebody dies that she's like, oops, I've done something wrong.
Bad now.
Yeah.
And I loved your scenes with Dominic Cooper.
Yeah,
that was so much fun.
They are. It's such a cool. He's brilliant in the film, by the way. It's one of my favourite roles that he's played, and he plays a rock star, and that I have an affair with, and they're just this match made in hell. You know, they're terrible together. She's very sort of, she's a writer. She's very bookish and sophisticated, and he's an egocentric rock star, and it just doesn't really work. And but they have this. Dominic has this brilliant. Well, we both have this brilliant scene where he has to seduce me with his drumming skills.
That was my favourite.
And he just. I remember reading that scene and thinking, oh, I don't envy Dominic having to do that. You know, in the script it says he plays the drums all around the kitchen, and it's the most incredible drumming.
Uses his feet.
Yeah, but he came up with this idea of using his feet, and brilliant. It was brilliant.
But how could you not be charmed by that?
I know, he is very, very charming.
Very, very charming. And the two young girls are absolutely brilliant.
Absolutely amazing.
And one of the things that I loved about this, there's so many characters in this, and everyone's flawed in a way, but you kind of relate to everybody.
Exactly.
But you don't really hate anybody either.
Exactly.
And even with the young girls, they think they know this rock star, and they're just so in love with it. So, I think we can all relate to that. Anybody you growing up that, you were all crazy about?
I was a bit crazy about Leonardo DiCaprio when I was younger, because I think when I was about their age, like 12, 13, that was when Titanic and Romeo and Juliet and all that was out, and he was a real heartthrob. But then I sort of grew out of it, I suppose. But, yeah, it is true about this film. Everybody is kind of a parody of themselves, and it's funny. Even when the characters that you don't particularly, in real life you'd think, oh, go away, you're very annoying. In the film, you laugh at it, every single one. And it's an ensemble piece as well, so there's not one that leads the way, even though it's called Tamara Drewe. It's not about Tamara Drewe, it's about this whole village and this whole spectrum of people. And they're all so varied, and they can all have their own TV program about them,
Well, that's kudos to Stephen Frears for that.
And he managed
with him.
Oh, honestly, he's a genius. He really is, and he has this incredible instinct, and he casts his movies perfectly, and he doesn't let the actors just, he lets them work. He lets them play and do it themselves, and so then when there is something going wrong, he will rectify it. But if nothing's going wrong and if it's all going right, he'll just sit back and watch. And it's really nice to be trusted in that way. And,
right.
But he has a masterful eye, and especially with a film like this where there's so much going on and the tone is very specific. I don't think I've seen anything with the tone like this, and so hats off to him. And I think he does it so subtly. You know, if you watch it at first glance, you don't really see that, but having watched it a couple of times, it's just astounding what he does.
It works really well, and it's brilliant. And finally, just to wrap up, we're doing a little feature about what luxury means to you. When you think about luxury, you know, what thoughts come to mind?
Time. I'm sure a lot of actors have said that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sleep. Yeah, time. To me, it's like, you know, that is the ultimate luxury.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Gemma. It was a pleasure to talk to you, and very, very, very nice movie, and funny, so it was great.
Thank you.
Yeah.